It's obvious Mike Trout's one of the best players on the planet. A 5-tool player who can dominate the best pitching in the world season after season. But what makes him so great? Is it his mechanics? His approach? His work ethic? Or maybe he's just a natural freak athlete with Paul Bunyan-like strength and Flash-like speed? One thing's for certain. When you pitch to him, you better have a plan. This is how you pitch to Mike Trout.
Corner is left. He'll shoot one out toward deep left center field. Headed toward the rocks. Incoming! Big fly for Mike Trout. Lined out to right field toward the corner. Garcia giving chase. Gone! Big fly for Mike Trout. 3-run shot, his second of the night.
First, let's talk about his strengths. Trout's a low ball hitter who likes to extend his arms out and away from his body and rotate through and almost around pitches at times. Now, conventional wisdom tells you that a slider spotted up, down and away at the knees is a good pitcher's pitch, but not with this kid. He actually feasts on those pitches. Like I said, he'll extend his arms out and around that ball and hit it over the left center field fence, leaving the pitcher looking up, wondering how in the heck did he do that? Isn't that right, Sonny? Oh, and if you hang one up in the zone, forget about it. When it comes to the fastball, Trout likes them out over the plate or down and in. Now you can try to spot up with the fastball down on the knees on the outside corner, but if you miss a little bit up and to the right, he's going to give it a ride. As for the first pitch, he's usually looking to take, but if you put it in his wheelhouse, he'll be aggressive to it and jump all over it, especially if it's a fastball. In 2018, he went 17 for 33 on first pitch fastballs and 19 for 38 overall. He's actually great on the first pitch of the count, but him not being over aggressive in these situations is what makes him so good. And obviously he dominates when he's ahead in the count. Just check his hot and cold zones. Pretty sure you don't want to fall behind against this guy. But enough about his strengths, let's talk about his weaknesses. Doesn't matter how good you are, everyone has holes. And Trout has two blaring weaknesses I can see in his game. The first is any pitches with movement down in the zone. I'm talking cutters, sliders, curveballs, changeups, two-seamers or sinkers that start down in the bottom of the zone and tail or break out of it. Remember, Trout's a low ball hitter. He likes the ball down in the zone, so use his strength against him. Throw a pitch with movement that starts down in the zone and have it move out of it so you can catch him fishing. The second biggest weakness is the high fastball. And if you look at his swing, he naturally drops his hands down on the ball, almost like he's golfing. It makes him a great low ball hitter, but explains why he can't handle the high heat. Honestly, I'm surprised pitchers don't throw him here more often. Probably because of that old elevate, celebrate mantra. But on him, it's a pretty safe spot, and the pitch makes him more uncomfortable than a group of 6th grade boys at a middle school dance. Just take a look at his hot and cold zones. You're better off tying him up with high heat than trying to get him to roll over on a pitch down in the zone. Now when he falls behind, it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He's like a whole nother person up there. As you can see from his hot and cold zones, he's cooler than a polar bear's toenails behind in the count. But, as you can see, he does have a couple hot zones behind the count. And this is where the slider comes in. Personally, I think when he falls behind, he's actually sitting slider up there. Which makes sense. It's most pitchers' go-to pitch when it comes to going for the strikeout. Now one other pitch I noticed gave Trout some trouble was a backdoor two-seamer from a righty or a backdoor cutter from a lefty. For those of you that don't know what a backdoor pitch is, it's a pitch that starts outside off the plate and breaks over the corner at the last second. I wouldn't call this a blaring hole of his, but it's definitely something you can use against him. Now let's take a look at a few at-bats where pitchers executed well against Trout. First, Marcus Stroman of the Blue Jays. He starts him off with a two-seam fastball down and away, but misses up and in. It's actually worked out in his favor, as he hit the spot that Trout likes the least. Then, he throws him a slider down and away at the bottom of the zone, and he actually gets Trout the fish for a foul ball, aka strike 2. And finally, he finishes him off with a high heater that sends Trout packing. Just absolute perfection by Stroman. It doesn't get any better than that. In his next at-bat, Mike Leake shows us that you don't have to throw hard to beat Trout. First, he starts him off with a curveball down and away. This is good, because Trout doesn't like to swing at first pitch breakers usually. Next, it looks like he throws a two-seam changeup or a sinker down and in, and doesn't get the call. The next pitch he throws is a 4-seam fastball down and away at the knees. It's a decent spot to go to, but risky, especially with this guy. He misses in Trout's hot zone, but Trout missed the pitch. Leake lucked out here. And finally, back to old reliable with the high fastball up and in. Trout can't catch up to it, and this Mariner had him hook, line, and sinker. To wrap things up, the most important thing I have to say is location, location, location. Doesn't matter how hard you throw, if you can't spot up, Trout's gonna make you pay. And a missed spot can be the difference between this and this. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And let me know who you want to know how to pitch to next. I'll be making more videos breaking down mechanics, techniques, and approaches when it comes to baseball. So feel free to subscribe. As for now, this is Coach Joey. Take it easy.